Hey Narwhals, and welcome back to some more weight loss stories. Only a small percentage of our viewers actually subscribe. It's free and you can always change your mind later, so please tap subscribe to join the original 100k Narwhals. Catching myself acting like a skinny person. As a person who has been extremely overweight all their life, I will never truly understand what it is like to be skinny. Even as I've lost 85 pounds, with many more to go, I catch myself surprised by how skinny people refer to food. I definitely have a skewed perception of food, and I'm not sure it will ever be normal. It is, however, much better. Anyways, I was just casually cleaning up my room and I realized that last night I pulled a total skinny person move. In case you're not aware, Trader Joe's sells delicious, super low calorie cookies. I'm obsessed with them. They're my kryptonite. Last night I popped out in the tub, grabbed one, and ate about half. I set it down, walked away, and got distracted. Now it's the next day, late afternoon, and I just noticed that I have about a bite left of that cookie just sitting on my desk. I would never have done that before. Before, I would consume that cookie, plus another 5 or 10 even, if I didn't really want to or was really hungry. And plus, before, if I had left it to go to sleep, I would have snatched it up in the morning before class, even though it's definitely stale now. I know I wouldn't even enjoy the taste, it's a compulsion. Not today. Today is the day I eat that cookie into the trash without even caring. Little things keep me going. Sometimes I log my nightly chocolate and then actually forget to eat it. Or I plan to eat 3 and only decide to have 1. It's almost like I'm starting to learn that food isn't going anywhere and I can have it whenever I want. Congrats on your positive progress. Food isn't going anywhere and I can have it whenever I want. Crap, that hit me real hard and I needed to hear that. When I'm alone, I eat like I'm never going to feed again. Dang, thanks for that reminder. Same, I treat a normal weekend meal like it's my last. It's ridiculous. Congrats, I had the same thing happen a few months ago, and it was eye-opening and really cemented how far I've come with food. I had grabbed some chicken strips from Dairy Queen and caved in and bought a small blizzard. I got home, ate my chicken strips and maybe a quarter of the blizzard before I was like, kinda full. I put it in the freezer thinking, yay, look at me putting this away, I'll have this after dinner and get 2 desserts out of 1. The future me can thank me later when having dinner dessert. This was a Friday afternoon. Sunday morning, I go to pull meat out of the freezer to defrost and am surprised by 3/4 of a blizzard staring back at me that I completely forgot about. This sounds so much like me, and I still haven't gotten to where you are. My kryptonite is pizza. These days I make sure I have someone to split it with, otherwise knowing I have half a pizza in the fridge, I can't help myself, it will be gone by the morning. It's like my lizard brain takes over. I know the pizza will still be there tomorrow morning or the next night, but I just have to eat it as soon as possible. And this has always been difficult for me. For the longest time, I would just eat because I was bored. It was the act of eating that satisfied me. That was why I was so unhealthy when I was young. I wouldn't think about what I was consuming, and my body wouldn't question it after becoming so accustomed to it. And now, as a much wiser young adult, I have tried to actively stop these impulsive moves. And honestly, it's incredible to see the difference. While I wasn't really looking to lose any weight, and I've shed a few pounds, but that's definitely because of the gym, my body completely rejects my old habits. I can't down a sleeve of Oreos or anything like that anymore. I always feel physically ill. I've learned that my body enjoys smaller, heartier portions most. It feels so good to look at a bag of chips or a block of chocolate and be certain that I can live without it. They're baby steps, but I'm glad they're steps forward. I love this thread so much. I'm currently almost done with month 1 of the most serious attempt of my life to lose 40 kilos. And I live with my family who are all notorious compulsive eaters, but they're trying very hard to be supportive. They let me eat first and alone, they help with groceries, and they hide their things in paper bags in the fridge. Once, I got an immense craving for cake, and I started to set out to the nearby 24-hour convenience store, and my dad and my brother sat quietly and apologetically by me, pleading me to not ruin the diet until I finally burst into tears and cried myself to sleep. And 2 days ago, I got another terrible cake craving, and this time I was home alone. I decided to sneak out, but just as I was going, they returned and ran into me. Since this was the second time, they not only decided to let me go, but also joined me. I bought my single slice of cake, but I ate it over the course of a couple of days. I'm pretty sure I came out of the ketosis type thing or whatever state my low carb diet had placed my body into, but now I'm satisfied and I'm back, and my family learned too. Hopefully one day they might be able to join me. I love when that happens. For me, it happens a lot when I'm with friends, because I'm so distracted. Sometimes I'll stay the weekend at some friend's apartment in another city, and eating is the last thing on my mind. One of my skinny friends is usually first to mention that we should think about what to do for meals, and I just don't care. I sometimes bring granola bars, and if I'm real hungry, I'll eat about half until I'm not hungry, then go on about my day. But when I'm home alone, all I can think about is food. And truly, congratulations. This one hit me right in the feels, not gonna lie. I'm just starting back on my health/weight loss journey, and I definitely do and did this all the time, the compulsive finishing of food, no matter what part. I will say I've had a few moments like you've had here now, and that I've enjoyed baking recently. I haven't stopped baking, but I give away 99% of what I bake, and I've limited my consumption of anything I made to half of one. This is hard to break. You're doing so well. Keep it up. I've been doing a 1200 to 1400 calorie intake the past couple of months myself, and recently this week I've been finding myself doing stuff like this. 2 days ago, there was a tray of cookies my mom made, just because she loves sweets. There was a half cookie she just had half of, and I went straight for the half cookie over the rest of the untouched tray. Then yesterday, I work at Panera. I brought home a full salad and a full roasted BLT from work. I ate half and half. I found myself offering the other half of that stuff, which I never would have done before. I always had the mindset of, I don't want food to go to waste. If I don't eat it, who will? It was also never my mindset to share either. I buy a lot of groceries for the house as well. That's a lot of money down the drain. I've gotten better with not overbuying. I noticed the same thing with soda recently. Before, I would drink whatever was in front of me pretty quickly, which is usually why I buy the small cans of pop, because then at least it doesn't hurt as bad if I drink the whole thing within a few minutes. This time, I drank about half the can and then left the rest on my desk while I did some stuff on my computer. I totally forgot it was even there until about an hour later. And to most people, I imagine it seems pretty insignificant, but I'm the kind of person that will drink half of a case of pop in a night if there's one in my house. And P.S. If you're addicted to pop like me, I highly recommend avoiding buying cases of pop from the grocery store and stick to the individual bottles. That way you still have a small bottle in your fridge if you get the craving, and after that, you're all out, so you can't give into temptation and drink another 2 or 3 cans like I normally would have done. It's definitely more expensive, but it has forced me to seriously cut back on how much I drink without completely eliminating it, and also prevents me from going overboard. Oh my gosh, this is a real thing. I grew up very poor, rarely had anything I wanted to eat, and frequently not even enough. My family situation was not a good one, so I moved out as soon as I could, 1 week after my 16th birthday. I worked 2 jobs and still could barely afford to live alone. I lived for many years trying to figure out how to consume as much as I could when I had the option. I was thin because I was poor, and because I made money with my back, not my brain. And now I make a very decent livable income contracting for marketing and SEO type operations. I'll turn 32 this fall, hoard food, especially non-perishables, and have a bit of a complex about walking away from any food at all. Clearing my plate was a survival mechanism, and I'm not sure I'll ever be able to stop treating it like one, literally feast or famine. My fiance thinks I'm a bit of a goof sometimes, because each month I'm able to save a surplus of cash. Before I deposit it, I go buy some cooking oil, pasta, rice, a few cans of beans, maybe some honey if I'm doing well, and I just stash items in an already full pantry. She knows just as I do that she'll never understand the paranoia because she's never starved. If you spent years of your life trying to sleep every night with sharp pains in your stomach and no idea when you'll be able to afford a decent meal. Now that I make enough to live comfortably, it is very difficult to break those old habits. And I'm about 35 plus pounds from my lightest weight a decade ago. Not in a bad place, but now I have habits that simply no longer apply to my reality. This turned into a rant at some point. The food isn't going anywhere and you can have as much as you want. That really touched me. I'm not sure I'll ever really learn to be comfortable with that fact. And that brings us to the end, Narwhals. And please tap subscribe to join the original 100k Narwhals. And lastly, here's our featured narwhal of the day. Finally, hit my goal weight, 45 kilos, 99 pounds down, and needed to share somewhere.